Now coming back to the external threats, we discussed the external threats with our neighboring countries. Means there is a saying of experts: if you cannot convince your neighbor, then you are not going to be a power in the long run. So, seeing the Indian role in the global arena and its leadership persona, how would you see that India should work on its neighbors, whether it would be the conflict of Pakistan in the Jammu and Kashmir, and whether it is the open border dispute with China, and that is the current emerging situation in which the troops of China, in their routine habit, crossed the LAC beyond 3 km at the Galwan Ghati, which is popularly called Finger F4, and claimed also the Shyok River. How would you see this adversary that affects India and its image in the global arena the most?
See, coming to the our neighbor Pakistan. See, the India is a peaceful country. Yes. And you will see that the all peace talks have always been initiated by India. The India has always been in a tried to resolve the issue by talk. But see, there is also saying those who don't learn from the past, the history repeats itself. Uh, our honorable Prime Minister Bajpayee went to Lahore, met Nawaz Sharif was the Prime Minister, and then Kargil happened. We lost so many soldiers. So, before we also need to understand what our neighbor wants, and this has always been saying the tit for tat. So, we need to understand, although the Pakistan is a democratic country, but it's run by its army. If you deeply study the Pakistan army, it's not only army, it's also a business institution. They have got their own truck company, they have got their business in the lands, you name a thing, a supply chain, the Pakistan army is there. And also we need to understand, like our army is a democratic army. So the fervor of the Pakistan army is ignited based on the religious fervors. So, and also it's their survival to keep their fight or keep their line of control hot, so that they are always in the want, they are always in the limelight. So, if the Kashmir issue is resolved, what else they have? They'll not, they'll lose their worth in their country. So, I'll say it's the Pakistan army which doesn't want the things to get resolved.
So, in the global arena, India has the image of an elephant. Means by saying this, can't we say or means convince to the point that Pakistan in the room is the big elephant to India, means that creates problem its own will, and India has no solution in the long run, whether diplomatic or militarily. because it costs both the countries, and both the countries would never do in the near coming future the full scale war. They don't want either. And then what are the possible solutions that lies at the core of the problem?
See, coming in your last question also you had asked about the J&K. See, if we look at the pre-independence India, the Kashmir was more related or the more closely connected with the Pakistan than Pakistan or the rest of the country. So when the Pakistani Lashkars attacked Jammu and Kashmir, there was no road from the Jammu Kashmir to present Himachal. So that's why the Indian army was to be airlifted. It was more closely connected to the Sialkot and the other part of the Pakistan. So historically, there has been the J&K was more connected, although it was ruled by a Hindu king. So now we fought 3 wars with the Pakistan in 47, 65 and 71. So after the 71 war, there has been the strategy of Pakistan to bleed India with the 1,000 cuts. They have learned that militarily it is difficult for them to defeat Indian army, to head on with the country. So they have come to a low budget solutions. So they are using the religious fervors, the uneducated youths who are, the, I'll say, brainwashed, a kind of psychological warfare. These poor people, if you read, you find they are promised 5 lakh, 10 lakh. If you die, God will be with you, and what all. So India has been trying, the Pakistan has been trying to engage India with these, I'll say, the terrorism, so that it can keep India engaged in a low cost war, keep the security forces engaged there, so that when they desire, if you see how much forces are engaged in the J&K, J&K police, CRPF, army, and now complete Rashtriya Rifle was raised, a new force to fight the terrorism there. So I think if the Germany can unite, why India and Pakistan cannot unite?
This is the main point you put emphasis. I want to ask you one more question at this point. Pakistan, at the one hand, uh, is in consistent tussle with India, means fist fight with India, and China on the other hand. And we all know the alignment of Pakistanis into the Chinese hands, whether it is the One Belt One Road initiative, whether it would be the investment at the Gwadar port at Pakistan, or other infrastructure development. Means, don't you think that instead of resolving uh, the situation with our neighbor countries, we are opening the road for two conflicts at a single time?
See, I don't think there is any conflict. Like you asked about the China. See, the issue is with the different perception of the LAC, line of actual control. So there is no international border.
Please tell our audience the basic difference between LOC and LAC as well.
See, see, people get confused with the what is IB, what is LAC, what is LOC. So let me put it in a simple term. The IB stands for the international border, जिसे दोनों देश मानते हैं, जिनका सम्मान करते हैं, जिसका सम्मान करते हैं. इट्स लाइक हमारा घर है, हमारे घर की बाउंड्री है, हम दोनों जानते हैं कि ये हमारे घर की बाउंड्री है और वो उसके घर की बाउंड्री है, तो उसका सम्मान है, तो वो हो गया हमारा इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर. सो you'll observe that on the all international borders we have BSF deployed on the international border with the Pakistan and with the Bangladesh border. Now coming to the line of control. So line of control stands for where you have the physical presence. So it is actually who is controlling what area. So the day you leave that area, if India leaves that area,
Other side may control it.
may come and physically occupy it, then you'll have to forcefully take that area. So it may be a minor, you say a minor attack, or the can be a war also. So we have a LOC is with the Pakistan, so there is no physical boundary.
That is Red Cliff. Red
Uh,
Cliff with Pakistan.
yeah, we can say so. It's a there are no physical boundaries. It can be some nala, some tree.
Okay.
So there is no, in fact, there is no wire. So who can say okay, this is Pakistan and this is India. Now coming to the LAC, the line of actual control. So it's based on the perception. There is also no physical boundary.
That is imaginary line.
Imaginary line. So the it's based on the China thinks LAC is 5 kilometers from this place, whereas India says no, LAC is.
Alright, this is the main bone of contention between
Yeah.
India and China.
So the Indian
that
troops
they claim they are own
Indian also go and patrol that area.
Yes.
Chinese to come and patrol that area. So when they come or they when they face each other, there is minor standoff. Also, you will accept this fact. Since 1967, there has been no single bullet fired. So there has been the
There is a peace agreement between
peace agreement. So
India
these
and
are
China.
the minor issues. However, the security forces are well prepared to deal with such situations. There are border meetings, and also I'm sure the if this situation also you see the recently the ambassador of China has made an statement that it should not be thought that the relation between India and China are strained, and all the disputes can be solved with the talk.
Okay, we are just closing the discussion. Just conclude with two main points, that what should India do to contain both threats, that is internal as well as external.
See, for the all kind of internal threats, are the internal security forces are doing the wonderful job, and I also feel that changing the minds of the youths is the thing which will solve these issues, because the old leadership in all the insurgent organization is dying down. So if there are no recruit to join, these organizations will die down. So the education, uh, also you will also appreciate the fact all the security forces run something known as they take the national integration tours. They take the selected youths from all the villages, take them to Delhi. They meet the eminent personalities. They meet President of India. They visit universities. So they come to know that the Manipur or Assam is not the India is not only this. There is a far better place in world. There is a far better lifestyle, and also the all universities are offering the some reservations so that they can educate these people and we can exploit their talent. And coming to the external threats, I think our security forces are well prepared to deal with the situations. And also I'll like to mention the old way of Indian fighting, the Sam Dam Dand Bhed. So Sam stands for the diplomatic. So the we make peace with the diplomatic solutions. Yes. Dam is the by finance, by economy.
Yes, India always means support the deterrence.
Yeah, and
instead of offense.
Then comes the Dand. Dand is the armed forces, yes. And Bhed is our the indigencies. Yes. So I feel that our security forces, diplomatic people, the indigencies, they are very well prepared to deal with all the eventualities. And what we as a citizen can do in this, we should not fall prey to the misinformation campaign by our adversaries, that is China, Pakistan. So, and also you'll find that 99% people, they don't have their own opinion. What they hear on WhatsApp or Facebook, it becomes their opinion. So actually, Taj, I also want to thank you that you have taken an initiative that you are basically educating youths that what actually the fact is, and they should not only be supporting or thinking what the our adversaries are telling them. So the propaganda, countering the propaganda is also a kind of a service to the nation.
So this is our guest, Mr. Sapnesh Srivastava, and he is a defense scholar. And I personally feel that our friends and audiences feel good to have these ideas that put forward. Now, I want to conclude with the with the famous remark of Mr. Sumit Ganguly. He is the eminent professor at Indiana University, because the current situation is very tensed. Everyone feeling low that China has once again intruded our territory, and their soldiers are once again seen in our territory beyond 3 kilometers of LAC. So what Sumit Ganguly has put, uh, the China has a tricky policy with India, that it want to contain and restrict the India to only Asian subcontinent, knowing the fact that India, for the most part, been unable to develop a professional cadre of personnel who are knowledgeable about questions of defense, budgeting, acquisitions, capabilities, and policy making, leaving the subject to political whims and financial constraints. So, this is the trick of China to restrict the global dominance, the global projection of India into the world politics. So there is a tussle in the border sometimes to restrict our growth. But as you see, our policy makers and our think tanks are very consistent with the policy to contain these challenges. And on the positive note of our guest, that winning the heart and minds of the youths and educating the youths with lots of good and quality ranking universities is the possible solution to eliminate the internal threats. And if we are strong within ourselves, then we can contain any kind of external threats. So thank you very much for listening us. Hope you enjoyed the video. We will once again come to you with some emerging and current points. Here at Tension Chalk, we consistently work to remove all your worries and to make you tension free. Thank you very much.